first memory of crying, I was watching Ugly Duckling. Oh, yeah. All these pretty ducklings are so mean to this one ugly duck. And I felt like an ugly duckling as a kid, you know? I remember just like bawling, like just crying, tears down my face, just like hiccuping from crying. Went to my mom for comfort and to make me feel better. My mom didn't say, you know, beauty on the outside does not matter, Kumail. It's beauty on the inside that makes a person. She didn't say that. To make me feel better, my mom was like, ducks can't talk. Also, these ducks don't even exist. Look at that. Someone clearly just drew that, Kumail. Stop crying. They're not real. Awful. Wait, handle that. But my parents, like, they would let me watch, like, the weirdest stuff. Like, when I was 8, I swear, I was 8, I went to the video store with my dad, and he let me rent The Elephant Man. I thought it was a superhero movie. You know, like Batman, Iron Man, Elephant Man. He has the strength of 20 men. No, he doesn't. He has the sadness of 20 men. Do you guys know that movie? The guy with the fucking face? And they're trying to get the girl to kiss him just to fuck with him, and he's like, I'm not an animal. Devastating. I was 8. That movie took something from me. Like, I'm sure I lost the ability to smell rain during that movie. I turned to my mom and I was like, thank God movies are fake, huh? And she's like, actually, no, this one is real. That is an actual disease anybody could get at any time. Good night. I used to live in New York, in Brooklyn. Oh, really? That was not my reaction. I was fucking terrified. Scariest place I've ever been in. And I grew up in fucking Pakistan. Really? Woos for Pakistan? All right. That's new. Pakistan's in the house. Usually we try and keep a low prof. I'm a huge asshole. But what the thing about Brooklyn was, because it wasn't just violent scary, it was like weird, like unpredictable scary. Like the week I moved there, I swear, I left my house, there was a guy on my street, in front of it, just a guy on my street, catching pigeons with his bare hands and stuffing them into his pockets. Like some sort of horrible reverse magician. And I was the only one staring at him. Rest of Brooklyn is just walking by, like, there's old Pigeon Pockets. Doing what he do. That's his jam. You know, my issue with Call of Duty, those games, is that they're based on, like, real wars, like World War II and shit, which feels weird to me, because, like, real people died, and now I have to kill them all over again. So I have a moral problem. I'm like, boycott those games. But the new one came out and it looked so good. I was like, all right, I'll try it. Then I found out that one of the levels in the new Call of Duty is called Karachi. Yep, the city I grew up in. They're basically like, your hometown is now a battlefield. How many points can you get, Kumail? But even with that, I was able to convince myself, you know? Like, I was like, I would have an advantage over everybody. I would know all the places. I would be like, hey, we can hide in there, guys. I used to rent movies at this place. Mr. Siddiqui will give us shelter. He once picked my VCR for free. He didn't judge. So I was gonna go get it again. Then I found out, okay, so the language you speak in Pakistan is Urdu. That's the name of the language you speak, Urdu. But all the street signs in Karachi and Call of Duty are in Arabic. Yeah, it's a completely different language. And I know it does not seem like a big deal. But this game took 3 years to make. If you look at it, the graphics are perfect. You can see individual hair on people's heads. When they run, they sweat. When they run, their shoelaces bounce. All they had to do was Google Pakistan language. They were literally like, what language do they speak in Pakistan? I don't care. I can't get his sideburns even. But it was on sale and I bought it. It's so good! Totally worth selling out my people for. But I was raised like very religious Muslim. We were told, this is true, when we were little kids, we were told that staring at a woman with a lustful gaze was the same sin as stabbing the prophet's nephew in the back while he's praying. Look at a girl, stab the prophet's nephew in the back while he's praying. Equal. So I was terrified of women, you know? And then I was around 10, I remember. Do you guys remember that Cindy Crawford Diet Pepsi commercial? Where she's wearing the tight white tank top and those hip-hugging jeans, and she's in the convertible, her hair in the breeze. Then she gets out and she walks over to the vending machine and she puts in the quarter. She picks her drink, then she pops the tab, and she puts the cylinder to her lips. I remember thinking, I am stabbing the fuck out of the prophet's nephew right now. And this guy shows up. And in one hand, he's got a sack, and he pulls out a cobra. In the other hand, he's got a cage, and he pulls out a mongoose, which is like a giant ferret. And he says, these two are going to fight. For you. And we're like, fuck yes, they are! Yes, they are! This is the best birthday of all time. We all get in a circle. Who's gonna win? The snake, the mongoose? Who cares? We win. High five. We get in a circle. By the way, there is no fence between us and the combatants. So whatever wins is coming for us next. We don't even consider that. To us, it's like Street Fighter, you know? He's gonna Hadouken the one guy, we go 3 rounds, we eat cake, what a day. We get in a circle, we're all cheering at the top of our lungs. One hand, birthday cake, one hand in the air, cheering. Top of our lungs. Imagine little Pakistani kids losing their minds. The fight starts. Like 40 seconds in, it becomes very clear that this cobra is gonna lose. The fight lasts 15 minutes. As parts of the snake are ripped off by the mongoose's teeth. Yeah, in the beginning we're all cheering. The last 10 minutes, everybody just watches completely silently. The snake is ripped to shreds. There's a 2-year-old kid watching and he's not even crying. I bet he didn't cry for a year after that. There's blood everywhere. Nobody's making eye contact. I'm like, Alu Master would never allow this to happen. Even the grown-ups are walking around like, we've made a huge mistake. After 15 of the longest minutes of my life, just like the rope went from the hat is like cutting into our throats, we're just like, watch. 15 of the longest minutes of my life, the mongoose rips the snake's whole head off. Yeah, which I'm like, if you had that move, that should have been move number 1. Why are you taking so long? Our souls are shrinking. Rips the snake's whole head off. And that's when the snake stops fighting back. And it lays there completely still, headless, covered in blood. And I remember for the first time in my life, I remember thinking, this guy just had his birthday. He's getting older. The snake just died. Someday I'm gonna die. Worst fucking birthday.